Hi everyone, it's Tracy here. I'm so excited for the association that we're going to have Jeanette speaking there, and I just wanted to talk about Jeanette and her background. She's been in the industry since 1990, so she started when she was 5 like I did. Welcome.
Thank you. Just over 5.
Oh, good. So you were 6 then. And as we were talking about in the live, Jeanette has also brought up her kids in it. So how did that feel?
Well, you might remember 1990, of course, was during the depression and recession that we had to have. So interest rates were pretty high. I think our mortgage rates back then were 19%, 19.5%. So it was pretty ordinary. So I decided I would do something at night, 3 or 4 nights a week. In fact, I think I started off doing 3. And that way I could look after my kids in the day, and their father, my husband, could look after the kids at night while they were tucked up in bed. And in theory, that worked. It didn't always work exactly like that, but that's really what got me started.
So you like the flexibility that you could work your own hours?
Oh, yeah. And I think that over the years that's changed depending on what the kids have been up to every single year. Every single term it would change because other things cropped up. So when you've got school-age children, even with friends who are teachers, I mean, I know they seem to have lots of flexibility, but I always seem to have a lot of kids hanging around my house because I was the one working from home. And that had its problems as well, as far as challenges with noise and kids playing. But overall, it worked really well.
I wanted to ask you, what made you stay in the industry?
I guess opportunity. So in 2003, end of 2003, I got approached by a US company, and that was a network marketing company. I'd never actually been involved in that side of the industry before. So I remember they flew. I was going down to Tasmania to do some training, and they flew and met with me at Melbourne Airport. So I sat and met with them there, and I thought, yep, this looks like it could be a good model. And my role was I was a national sales and training director, and I was supposed to set up that was my role, a model that was a mix between a network marketing model and a party plan, which back then was actually quite innovative as well and very unique.
Uh-huh.
So that was our role, and Australia was far enough away from the rest of the world that if something went wrong, no one would notice. They did a pilot in WA in Perth, and it was, I think, after that 6 month they decided to go with it. So it was a really great model and worked very well. But the company actually pulled out of Australia and 7 other countries because of decisions that they'd made in China, financial decisions. So the board of the directors, who were it was a publicly listed company, and they made a decision to pull out. So we're all left without distributorships or jobs or whatever. So yeah, that was a tough time because they can happen. I mean, it's unfortunate it happened with that company, and you and I know that there's a lot of direct selling companies that are changing and merging and closing, but that's the same with any typical business. I mean, I just was at Southland today, and there's talk of Big W closing down over there, and David Jones. What's that going to do to a shopping centre like Southland? That's what's happening.
And Target.
I didn't know that. Oh gosh.
Yeah, they're revamping as well.
Wow.
Oh, look, it doesn't matter. I totally agree with you. It doesn't matter whether you're in a direct selling company or whether you're in a normal business. There's still going to be advantages and disadvantages. That's the way it is. We are in a tightening economy, and we know that it's called what do they call it? The lipstick something or other. That direct selling will still continue regardless of what the economy does.
Lipstick factor.
Yeah, lipstick factor. Thank you. I knew that it kept coming up years ago. So what made you start your own company then?
Well, we had the guy who was the CEO of the company, a guy called Neil Reid, We'd done some research on a particular French formula from Europe. It was a disinfectant formula. And so we'd done a bit of prelude work towards that preparation, so we could see how it would sit in the Australian market. And anyway, because NHT pulled out of Australia, we thought, you know what, we should give this a go ourselves. So we literally sat down around a kitchen table and thought, okay, what are we going to call it? What is our comp plan going to look like? What do our brochures look like? What do you think our colour should be? And alongside of that, of course, was all the legal and the setting up of the traditional business, because we were a bricks and mortar business as well. So we were manufacturing, and that's the difference. So it's been a big ride, and we're entering our 12th year in October.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And now, you know, you're back on the streets again as a rep. How cool does that feel?
You know what? It's actually really cool. I'd sort of forgotten what it was like to actually talk to people. I know that sounds ridiculous, because I love talking to people. I love finding out what they're about. That's the fun part. It's really the fun part. It's been clunky. As with any merger, we've become part of a very big company brand umbrella, but they're really good people. They've got a great vision. The products are amazing, thank goodness, and they love our products as well. So they're supporting. And they are moving really quickly with this current world that we're in, and they're prepared to do that. So it's been a really a wild ride over the last since March last year.
Yeah, look, it's incredible. Yes, we do lose some companies, and it's such a shame, because they do have amazing brands and they've built up a great reputation. But then there's something else out there that is just as good and just as amazing. You know, with the laws coming in Australia, hopefully we'll be able to open the doors to CBD oil, and I'm sure that your company will probably tap into that as well.
They've already done that. Way more than you can imagine. They actually own the plantations, they own the processing facility, they own the laboratories that actually test it, and it's already been operating. I think they ship into 50 states in the US now.
Yeah.
They've actually also got pet products, pet chews, CBD pet chews. So I think it will change. I'm pretty up to date with what's going on with the TGA. That's part of my sort of role over here as well, I guess, being able to talk to people that I've worked with in the past. And they're saying that up to March next year, the laws in New Zealand will be somewhat relaxed, and they will mirror the World Health Authority organisation. It's still a TGA thing. So, you know, once New Zealand makes that move, then you may find that it'll open up.
Fingers crossed, because I think that is just going to change the whole way that the whole medical side is looked at, because, you know, they're doing the stats about people popping pills and everything. And if they're going to have something more natural, why not?
Yeah, you'd be surprised though. There's a lot of traffic in this industry, in nutrition. And I think one of the beauties of Nature Direct is it's such a well-known established brand. So Longevity have literally, we've become part of their umbrella. So now our 500,000 customers are also Longevity customers. So
yes,
it's been good for them, because they've always been a very, very heavy customer-focused company. And with the new FTC, the Federal Trade Commission laws that are changing in the US, they're well set up for that particular market. So I think they're a good, solid company. In fact, the guy who is the CEO and is the owner, or one of the owners, he's also on the board of the DSA in the US. So that's a big accolade as well. Yeah, and they're very, very
member of the DSA too.
Yeah. Particularly on the board. So their CBD markets is huge. It's fantastic over there. You know, but we can build into that market, which is great. So it's a good opportunity for our distributors to have the potential of that kind of growth.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that with your wealth of knowledge and, you know, being in the industry, the fact that you've been a rep, you've been the owner, you can offer so much to the conference. Absolutely.
Yeah. We've had some great people. We had an amazing leadership team. We headed up by Carla Hart, who was our master distributor, and she heads up our team at the Nature Direct team in Australia now. my job is to build my teams as well, other teams. So it's been exciting, actually being in front of people and learning and discovering ways to really help people, not just with the air that they breathe and reducing the toxicity of what they use in their home. I've just been talking to a woman in WA actually who is recovering from breast cancer. So, and you know, she was telling me her story, and it's just, yeah, I mean, health takes many, many different sides, and people often forget the insidious nature of chemicals in the home. And there's some great brands out there that, you know, Australians have good choices. So, and we're one of them, which is great.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, that's exactly why the association is there, to show and showcase these amazing reps who are doing great things from the, you know, the ground level.
Yep. So we're pretty happy about that. We're glad to be part of this company so we can grow with them. They haven't even broken into Europe yet, really, other than the UK. So from our point of view, it means our team and our distributors can really grow, and they've got the skill. I've always said this from the beginning, and I know there's many people on this call who'll be listening to it, but I can tell you we had the best people. We had the best leaders. And they really are amazing. The skill level, we've used some incredible trainers over the years. Lindsay Bajent, who's very, very well known in the industry. Barb Gerson from the US. We've had some fantastic trainers, and you know, our team of leaders are just incredible, and we've reaped the benefits of that, of their development and what they've gone and done as well. Some of them have gone onto other things and become really, really successful in their different ventures, and it's just that part of this industry. I like to have an abundant mentality, and I think that's important. There's room for everyone, and we always have a golden rule: you never ever you don't get bigger by pushing other people down. So you can just be a best version of yourself, and that goes for the company as well.
Absolutely. I think, you know, that's what it's all about, having the ethics in the industry to know that you don't need to tread on other people's toes. You don't have to make them feel bad. Just make everyone feel good. Yep,
because it's a choice in different stages of people's lives. I couldn't see myself selling children's toys now, but you know, times change. Makeup might be your thing. I think that the choice of product ranges that are out there, or essential oils, or really anything, then the choice is yours. I think it's, you know, in the world still 70% of people in direct selling are women. We haven't even tapped into the men yet, and we really have to think about that, because there's a lot of men who, you know, particularly with the development, I guess, and the surge of the side gig, where people want to do something on the side. Everybody now works full time. They just do. I've heard people over the years say to me, "Oh, but I work full time." That's okay.
That's everyone else.
But this is something you can do online or from your phone. The technology is amazing, and I think that's what's allowing all that action to happen.
Yeah.
Of course, it still comes back to people. People buy from people that they like, and they've got to know you, they've got to trust you, and then they've got to like you. And you can put that in any order you like, but
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. People have to. They buy from you because they like you.
Yeah, totally. All right, I want to say thank you so much. I'm going to put this up straight into YouTube, and then download it onto the live so that people can see the other part of it. So thank you for your time.
I'm up to the US in 2 weeks.
Yay!
San Diego, so I'll wave you from over the other side of the pond. Thanks, Tracy.